A direct transfer of the files from the General Court Martial to the ordinary courts is also untenable. It's not possible. So they are in a catch-22 situation. The only option they have is to release Dr. Besigye. Just only that. They have no choice under the law. They have no any other option but to release Dr. Besigye.
But we all know that any government department relies on the advice of the Attorney General. Our call is to the Attorney General to expedite, because this situation is untenable. Should they fail to release Dr. Besigye and Lutale today, they will be holding them illegally. Also because Uganda is a democracy. The Constitution declares it a republic. Uganda is also a member of the East African community. One foundational principle is the rule of law principle. So we are very hopeful that upon the decision of the Supreme Court being explained and broken down to all the institutions from the highest to the lowest involved, that they will all opt to obey the rule of law. The Constitution is supreme, and the Constitution reflects the will of all Ugandans, whichever branch of the government they belong to. So we are hopeful, and now we are going to put in some more work towards the release of our clients.
He assured us that they don't want to turn prisons into a rogue force. Those are his words. A rogue force, meaning that they operate outside the law, continuing remanding Dr. Besigye, Lutale, and other political prisoners without valid remand warrant, because the warrant expired today, and even if it were not to expire this morning, it had been quashed by the Supreme Court on Friday. He recognizes that fact. And he told us that immediately, because he was following the proceedings, that immediately reached out to the Attorney General for advice. And since then, he has been waiting for that communication from the Attorney General. And as he's seated in the office there, he's waiting for the communication from the Attorney General. And we had to give him that benefit of doubt for today, rather for now, as we also pursue it with the Attorney General. But it can't last for long, because if it is never to come, of course we have to take other measures, and we're already exploring taking other measures. We can't wait for the Attorney General. The Attorney General came and gave his opinion in the court, which was quashed. The Supreme Court rejected the opinion of the Attorney General. And now, his opinion on the existence of the General Court Martial, now what is left is implementation of or enforcement of the Supreme Court decision. And this is what we want, and it has to be done today and now. So it's the reason we are following it up with the Attorney General, and again coming back here. So we are not seated. We are just going to follow it up. We are not going to let the state organs or agencies take their time, because this is a matter of rights. And just a minute, Senior. Yeah. And in addition to that, you cannot hold on to somebody, keeping them in illegal custody, just because you are processing the files to be transferred from the General Court Martial to the traditional courts. That would also be untenable under the Constitution. But even then, we have explained and want to reaffirm this position. The files before the General Court Martial were not sanctioned by the DPP. And Article 120 of our Constitution requires that any criminal prosecution in our ordinary courts must be sanctioned by the Director of Public Prosecutions. So you cannot get that file right from the General Court Martial straight to the civilian courts without any sanction from the DPP. That would also be unconstitutional. So a direct transfer of the files from the General Court Martial to the ordinary courts is also untenable. It's not possible. So they are in a catch-22 situation. The only option they have is to release Dr. Besigye. Just only that. They have no choice under the law. They have no any other option but to release Dr. Besigye.